AI is going to replace most engineers. That is what the headlines say. That is what the LinkedIn posts say. That is what the fear says. But I am an engineer. I have spent years working in industrial automation, integrating AI into real industrial systems and researching AI on my own. So let me tell you what is actually happening. Because the truth is very different from what you are reading. In the last 2 years, something real has changed. AI can now write code. It can generate circuit designs. It can answer engineering questions that used to take hours of searching. Tools like GitHub Copilot, ChatGPT, and Gemini are inside the workflows of millions of engineers right now. So the fear is not completely wrong. Something is changing. The World Economic Forum said 85 million jobs will be displaced by automation. That number sounds terrifying. But the same report says 97 million new roles will be created. 12 million more than will be lost. The question is not whether change is coming. The question is, which side of that change are you on? Let us be honest about what AI is actually good at in engineering right now. It can write code faster than any developer. GitHub Copilot data shows engineers complete tasks 55% faster when using AI assistance. That is real. That is significant. It can generate design options. Autodesk's generative design tools can produce hundreds of structural or mechanical design variants in minutes, work that used to take a team weeks. It can process data, sensor data, quality control data, production data. AI can find patterns a human would miss in seconds. And it can answer questions, technical questions, troubleshooting questions, calculation questions, at any time, instantly. So if your job is only writing repetitive code, only doing the same calculations, only checking the same data, yes, that part of your job is at risk. But here is what AI cannot do. AI cannot walk onto a factory floor and understand why a machine is vibrating differently today than it was yesterday. That knowledge lives in the engineer who has been there for 5 years. AI cannot make a judgment call when the safety of a system is at stake. In most countries, an engineer must legally sign off on a design. AI has no license. AI has no liability. AI cannot understand a client's actual problem. Clients often say one thing and mean another. Engineering is as much about listening and understanding as it is about solving. And AI cannot take responsibility when something goes wrong. I have spent years in industrial environments, commissioning systems, solving problems that no manual covers, making calls that a machine simply cannot make. Can AI help me work faster? Yes. But can it replace the experience, the context, the judgment that I have built over years on real projects? No. That is my knowledge. That is my value. Engineering is not a collection of tasks. Engineering is judgment, and judgment cannot be automated. So here is the honest answer to the question: will AI replace engineers? No. But an engineer who uses AI will replace an engineer who does not. This is the real shift that is happening. Not human versus machine. Human with AI versus human without AI. If your colleague starts using AI tools and can now do in 2 hours what used to take you 8, and they produce better output, what happens to your position? This is not a future scenario. This is happening in engineering teams right now. Developers who adopted Copilot early are shipping faster. Engineers using AI for data analysis are catching problems sooner. The gap between those who adapt and those who do not is growing every month. But I want to be honest about something that nobody talks about, because I have experienced it myself. I use AI every day, and I have noticed something. I am becoming dependent on it. Even for problems I could solve myself, I ask AI first. My brain reaches for the tool before it reaches for its own thinking. And that made me uncomfortable at first. Am I getting weaker? Am I losing my engineering instinct? Then I thought about it differently. Think about how engineers used to work 50 years ago. They calculated by hand. They memorized formulas. They spent hours on arithmetic that a calculator now does in 1 second. And when calculators arrived, people said, engineers are becoming dependent on machines. They are losing the ability to calculate. And they were right. Engineers today cannot multiply large numbers by hand the way their grandparents could. But what did they do with that freed mental energy? They designed more complex systems. They solved bigger problems. They went to the moon. They built the internet. The dependency was not a weakness, it was an upgrade. I think the same thing is happening with AI right now. Yes, I am becoming dependent on it for the easier thinking, but that is freeing me to think about harder things, more important things. The question is not, are you dependent on AI? The question is, what are you doing with the mental space that AI is giving you? So, what do you actually do about this? Here are 3 things you can start this week. 1. Pick one AI tool and use it daily for 30 days. Not just try it once, use it every day. If you write code, start using GitHub Copilot or Cursor. If you do calculations or analysis, use ChatGPT or Claude with your actual data. Build the habit. 2. Identify the repetitive parts of your job. Every engineer has tasks that are repetitive. Generating reports, writing standard documentation, checking data. These are exactly what AI handles well. Use AI for these. Free yourself for the judgment work. 3. Stay updated. AI capabilities are changing every few months. What was not possible 6 months ago is possible today. Follow the right sources, understand what is coming, and position yourself ahead of it, not behind it. The engineers who will thrive in the next 10 years are not the ones who are afraid of AI. They are the ones who understand it, use it, and combine it with the judgment and experience that only comes from real engineering work. That combination, AI plus engineering expertise, is the most valuable skill set in the world right now. If you found this useful, subscribe to this channel. Every week we cover AI, technology, and engineering. Explained simply, applied practically. No hype, just what matters. And tell me in the comments, are you already using AI tools in your engineering work? Or are you still figuring out where to start? I read every comment. See you in the next one.